A new schedule could be on the horizon for Barnstable High School students. A lottery will soon be held for 2 affordable condos in Cotuit, and we learn more about a survey that will help guide development in Hyannis. These stories and more on this episode of Barnstable Today. It's Thursday, December 8th, 2016. I'm Sarah Mantle. Barnstable High School teachers are looking at ways to allow students to fit more electives in their schedules. To do that, changes will need to be made to the current high school schedule. Barnstable High School staff have put together several schedule options that will be reviewed at a public workshop tonight. That workshop begins at 6 in the Town Hall hearing room. That will be followed by the regular school committee meeting at 7. Also, that will be held in the Town Hall hearing room. A condominium complex in Cotuit will include 2 affordable housing units. Those condos will be sold to first-time homebuyers with household incomes at or below 80% of the area median income. You can learn more and pick up an application in the town's growth management office. That office is located on the 3rd floor of Town Hall. Applications are due February 6th. An informational session will be held January 10th in the Selectmen's Conference Room at 7. Cape Cod Community College wants to help Cape Codders learn more ways to de-stress and to help conquer anxiety. To do that, the college is teaming up with Cape Cod Healthcare to offer a free yoga class tomorrow. That class will be followed up with an introduction to meditation. All are welcome to attend. The yoga and meditation seminars will be held at this Friday at the college's Hyannis campus just off Main Street beginning at 9 a.m. The Cape Cod Commission is teaming up with the town of Barnstable to look at development in Hyannis. To learn more, I talked with the town's regulatory design review planner. Joining me now is Elizabeth Jenkins. She is the regulatory design review planner here in the town of Barnstable. I want to talk to you about a really important project you're working on with the Cape Cod Commission. This is really a planning project geared to focus on downtown Hyannis, but also the Route 132 corridor. So tell me a little bit about this project and why it's so important.
Sure. Well, I'll tell you how it got started. 10 years ago, the town and the commission had a partnership in which we put a kind of a regulatory environment in place in downtown Hyannis called the Growth Incentive Zone. So this was a Cape Cod Commission designation that essentially was meant to streamline permitting in downtown Hyannis. It pre-permitted both residential and commercial development around Hyannis Main Street with the goal of encouraging investment and redevelopment without the need for Cape Cod Commission review for larger projects. So there was a 10-year duration on the growth incentive zone, so we've reached the anniversary, and we're now going through a process in which we are going to reauthorize those regulations for another 10 years. So while we were doing this, we also felt like the regional retail corridor on Route 132 probably needed some attention as well in terms of how it's regulated and also to realize some benefits out there in terms of economic investment. So we're partnered now on this project, the Greater Hyannis area project, which looks at both of those areas. It looks at the regulatory framework that's in place. We're taking a look at the infrastructure, which serves both, obviously, how those two areas work together. And in addition to kind of the residential neighborhoods that surround the two, which play such an important role into the economic health of these areas, as well as to the quality of life in residents of Hyannis.
Yeah, and really important too, I think, to take a look at both residential and commercial, because those two are sort of mixed in between. You go from downtown Hyannis to Route 132. It's a mix. So it's really important, I think, too, and we have such a housing crisis, really important to look at both.
We do. So I'm sure you've talked about that on the show, really. I mean, housing has been such a focus all across Cape Cod recently, knowing that we do have a supply shortage. And when we did the original growth incentive zone in 2005, I think there were a lot of people who were focused on revitalizing the commercial core of Main Street and maybe the surrounding residential neighborhoods kind of got overlooked, you know, their connection to downtown. And I think we've seen tremendous returns on the growth incentive zone when it comes to the commercial core on Hyannis Main Street. If you experience the street the way I do, you go out there and you see there's all sorts of new and exciting businesses opening up, and the street is really starting to come to life, you know, for people who live here year round as well as for visitors. And I think we really want to refocus on that housing component. How do we encourage housing to really try to achieve the goal that was set out originally in 2005, which was creating a year-round, 24/7 livable community that appeals to everybody in downtown Hyannis.
Now, as part of the study, you are using SurveyMonkey to send around a survey, hoping that people take part. What do you want to learn from that survey?
Yeah, well, the Cape Cod Commission put together the survey as kind of a first way to engage people in this new conversation about the next 10 years for Hyannis. So I think what the Commission's looking for is really to, you know, the survey is geared at anybody who interacts with downtown Hyannis, whether, you know, you live there, whether you live on the street year round or whether you're a visitor there. What are your perceptions? You know, what are the issues? Where do you see opportunity? Because when we do this planning project, you know, when we look to set out new regulations, we really want them to be aligned with the community vision. We feel like that's really important to the success of projects going forward, so that when we have people who are interested in investing in our community, that we can accurately portray what the community's vision for itself is, to, you know, again, to help people be successful in investing here.
Let's talk a little bit about the timeline if we can. So You're starting out with the survey. How long will residents, and who can take that, and how long will residents have to respond?
Yep, so the survey is open to everybody. There are options, again, to respond to the survey, whether you're just a visitor to Cape Cod or, again, whether you're a resident. So the survey changes based on who's taking it. So the survey is open to everybody. It's open through January, so you have some time. We've gotten great response already, but we really want this to be a broad-based community effort. So please go on, continue to take the survey throughout January. And
how can we locate it? Where do we find it?
Sure. So it is a SurveyMonkey survey. I don't have the link right here, but you can go. It'll be on the Cape Cod Commission homepage, as well as if you get any communications from the town manager newsletter, places like that, you'll be able to find the link.
Great. And I do see here it's surveymonkey.com/r/Hyannis survey.
Thank you.
So very important to check that out. Once that survey is completed and you start going through that data, that's probably going to take a lot of time to review the data that you collect. What happens once that survey is finished?
I think it's this project's really a priority for the planning department here, and also for the Cape Cod Commission. I think it really ties into, how they're thinking about even the entire Cape Cod region. Hyannis is unique on Cape Cod, and I think when they're setting out their regional plans, they want to be able to recognize this. So, this project is, for a planning project, fast-tracked. We'd like to be actually done with the project coming forward with recommendations by the middle of next year.
Now, once you have those recommendations, I assume you're going to go around and maybe have some public meetings to discuss some of those recommendations?
Absolutely. So the survey is kind of the first step. We're also engaging right now in focus groups around people with different issue areas. This is a comprehensive planning project. We really kind of want to get everybody's voice here. I think if your goal is to create a community, then you have to hear from all different factions in the community. So there is an option at the end of the survey to leave your name and email. You don't have to do that. It can be anonymous, but there is an option if you want to continue to get involved and you want to kind of have your voice heard about how the community grows in the next 10 years, to leave your name and email and get put on a focus group over the next couple months to get engaged in the process.
Wonderful. So exciting. I think it's so great. I think residential, residents, business owners, people who work in the town of Barnstable, everyone really important that they give that feedback. And I'm sure everyone has a lot to say. Yeah. So it'll be interesting. Can't wait to have you back to discuss the results.
Yep,
really exciting.
Absolutely. Great.
Thanks so much. We'll be sure to tune in to our hour-long news program, Barnstable This Morning, weekdays at 8 a.m. On tomorrow's show, we will chat with Director of Leisure Services, Patty Machado. We'll talk with HYCC General Manager Joe Izzo, plus we'll have all the news and information you need. For Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Mannell.